Hey everybody, let's get going. Today, Tuesday. Excellent, thank you. The band is the Madcaps. Everyone's saying Dick Dale, Butthole Surfers. No, Madcaps, the Madcaps. And let's get a little crazy, a little mad today about what's developing here in crypto. Let's just get right into quick shout out to everybody. What's happening? How about disclaimer? Yeah, you know it. There you go, risk disclaimer. This is not financial advice. This is entertainment. I hope you find educational. Let's get to the charts. We see some progress, folks, where we're definitely scraping these lows that established a few weeks ago. Cardano being classic. Talked about this yesterday. Even better position than yesterday. Coming off of this low, trying to break out to go to the target one at 126. That links up pretty nice. Let's jump to Bitcoin. I'm going to jump through a bunch of charts. Almost 39,000. And I think, depending on our data feed, let me see here. We were dealing with that hourly. I know it was an hourly. Essentially, we're looking for the hourly type 2 on the Gartley or BAT. We're almost there. Yesterday, this was a BAT pattern. I'm looking for either Coinbase. There's Coinbase. There it was. This is what we were talking about yesterday. Thank you. And on schedule for the retest back to the hop level of the bat. 39,444 is the big number. If we're going to see something larger, say, we have argued that this is a type 2, folks. The hourly crab pattern. That's what we were saying yesterday. With two objectives, 39,444, or target 2 up to 41,000 even, which may be a better spot. Depends on what happens here in this zone later today. I mean, where it's perfect type 2 if we just come on, bring it back. So from a bat perspective, if you're looking for the type 2 reversal, well, I do want to see confirmation, which we have. There you go. Let's isolate the rest of it. Reactions done. Come back. There's the reversal potential. This is why Bitcoin's so critical here for the next 24 hours, 48 hours. If we're just going to negotiate this pattern, this current bat pattern, and say that the bat is going to cap it on the top side for resistance, and the profit targets on the lower end will act as support around as low as 36,757. And we'll know literally in the next, I would say, 12 hours. Come up. Or if we don't and we fail and we continue to roll over, I don't think so. I think we're going to come up and kiss the hop level at 39,444. Part of the reason is that we don't have HSI quite in the right spot. You do have HSI here, and that would get us looking on the retest, really starting the whole type 2 process. That's for what we want to see. Here's your reaction move. Pretty clear reactive segment. We're aggressive in our management. We don't expect it. We expect target 1, but we're looking for it to drop into the target 1, target 2 zone. And that be about it, which it did, and went sideways for the better part of a day or so, and then right back on up. Now, we have that confirmation. Are we trying to push higher? Yes, I would say we are, at least for now. I'll look at maybe the hop level. The other thing is HSI came off the 50 and is doing. I want to watch that. Does that come back for a retest? It normally we see HSI likes to go from one extreme down to the other and then back up. So some consolidation here, 39,000. I think you can just say is going to be probably the big test. If this reaction off of 33,000, remember we were 33,000 just last week, like, looking for possibilities. We hit that 886, which is, right down here. Sorry, let's go all the way back. Here it is. 33,000. That's the 886, folks, off of the September swing. And there was some other patterns there. We're still reactive. And some of the other stuff I was mentioning on Bitcoin futures at 30, 31,600, 31,600 were not tested. But this 886, I'm not surprised to see at least some bounce off the 886. But now you have a pattern, back-to-back patterns. We have a bullish pattern, big bullish pattern, and we've failed a few. But now we have another bearish pattern. This is, again, I really want to watch what happens here because this could be a continuation formation if this thing rolls over at 39,000. A lot going on there, folks. Don't get hyped up yet. And I think maybe people are feeling better because of something like this on Ethereum doing its massive thrust down. Go to the daily chart. You did have, depending on your data feed, but we talked about this a few days ago, there were HSI signals across the board. Some were at the low, like down here. That's your BitRex. Where's Coinbase? There's Bybit. Bybit was at the low. Coinbase was at the low. These green arrows are HSI. But still reactive, and at least, hey, at least Ethereum was trying to do something. I still say this whole scenario with what Ethereum did into these lows was really sloppy. I mean, really extremely sloppy. This deep crab and some of the other stuff, I don't expect it to yield much more than another reactive bounce. At least it's going up. Go to the daily here. There you go. We were. This one did not get to the 886. 886 again, about, really 2050. What was that? Off of the low, just about 85%. Nothing really there, but I do want people to consider this. Let's pretend that's a B point. Okay, if that's a B point, what is that a B point of? Well, maybe some kind of, could be some kind of formation, could be some kind of pattern, I don't know. But if that is a B point of some magnitude, well, all right, I'll give the 236, which is where we are right now at 2800. 2825 would be your first stop. But really, I would say, okay, if we're going to do something constructive, do a 382 up to 3200. Those are your two numbers. And then maybe come back down. Not much here. It's tough. You really can't trace out a bat. It's not an 886. It's not an alternate. It's not really a shark. There's nothing. There's not much here. It just, you got to pull it out. Go to the weekly, and again, I think you're really just talking about these all-time retracements more than anything else with Ethereum. Go off of this low, actually go off the COVID low. I mean, it's practically the all-time But your 50% level again, the your all-time 50% level, and I think that's probably what people are considering here, 2500, 2450. I think once that thing got under 2400, people started saying to themselves, that's a 50% correction. Let's look for something here. There's not much here, folks. And I got to say that with Ethereum, you are oversold on longer term charts, but again, I wouldn't do it like this. Do it like a trace it out and just look for a reaction, 382 reaction. That would help to kind of form out what is possible. But take a look. Your amplified RSI is oversold deeply weekly, first time since 2018, completely. I mean, all the way down here. So definitely a nice relative spot, although no pattern. I mean, would love to see. Look, this one pattern, folks, isn't just aberrational. I mean, it's perfect. It's a weekly chart here. And I'll show one or two that are current weekly patterns that look like this. But it took the better part of how many years before that really broke out? This did kind of the super base. I don't know if anyone knows about the super bases, but the super base is a technique David Ryan, Bill O'Neill, William O'Neill of Investors Business Daily, they would just identify these stocks that were in multi-year, 3, 5, sometimes 10-year bases, and then look to break out and buy the breakouts of these longer bases. They would say the longer the base, the better, the more accumulation going on. That's what Ethereum was doing, but you don't have even a bullish structure. You go to the daily formation, daily time frame, nothing. I will show you something that does have a nice weekly structure at the moment, which I've mentioned before. Again, I think this XRP has flirted down as low as this 55 level. You're back at 886s. Big 886 there. Where is the weekly? There it is. Thank you. So depending on the data feed, but the XA level, that's your ABCD 786, is 55. 55 has been a floor here, folks. And I'm looking for more large pattern formations automatically generated, but I'm not seeing too many at the moment. It's maybe I've mentioned this before. It's been kind of the change that I've been wanting to do of just go off of automated pattern formations, but you're not going to get that many like you've seen or I'm showing you because they're not matching up to what we need to see on precise measurements. So go to the 4-hour time frame. I think on this last dip down across the board, you could look at a lot of major pairs and find something. Let me go to Luna. All right, we're down here with. We were looking for a retest around 54 bucks. It dropped to 44, but it formed some patterns on the way down there. I'm okay with that. This 54 is more of a larger harmonic support level. Way to think about that. I mean, as low as 43, okay. But we know also, look, the weekly time frame is doing a 50, 60% pullback of this all-time move, which doesn't seem, it's done it before. Again, just get some perspective down here where you're at the 50%, 56%. Start looking, because also coming down on daily time frame, you're oversold across the board. What are the odds of the BTC type 2 retest of the bigger 886? What do you mean? Come back down to 33,000? There's a question of do I think Bitcoin will retest the 886 at 33,000? Yeah, I think it's possible. I think you're banging up against the top end of resistance. If 33,000 was support, 39 to 41 is absolutely your reaction resistance. I'm looking, here's Mana, right? The Central Land. It's one of the few that have managed to hold up in all of this. I don't not much here on the daily except for you did get oversold on that last one. Um, you know, just not a lot there yet that have come together. I think you're in a consolidation phase, even in your strongest of pairs. Here's Polka Dot. I mean, at least this one found a bottom recently. Again, take a look. Weekly time frame, just devastated. And this was a shark. Yeah, remember this? This was a shark up at the 886 and could not get above 50. Hits the 886 and right back down. Now, this one should swing back down to the 886 as well. I don't think Solana's there. I don't think it's ended just yet. It traded as low as what was that, 16 after being almost 50? Couple of comments, questions. Grifflet, yes, back down to 33K. Grifflet, let me say it this way. I think, again, the question is, will Bitcoin come back down to 33,000 for the retest? And I think that's the bigger plan. I think my plan continues to be to look for Bitcoin to hold its head and Ethereum to hold its head, and then get some altcoins to speculate on. If it's Luna, if it's some of the other ones, because I don't think on a percentage basis Bitcoin's really in a position or going to attract the kind of money that it needs to move it to make it a double. Yeah, I agree. I'm a little concerned here. We're brushing up against. This is the thing to take note. 4 hour chart, Coinbase, folks. Let me remove all of the arrows. This is Bitcoin. You are up against this level where we're threatening to fail the 113 again. Here we go. XAB, you're 113. You're trying to break out above that A point. Your 113 is like 39, yeah, 39 420. And if you fail that and you set up for a shark where you just say that would be your retest. That's why this is so critical. Today's important. This reaction off the low thing, it's like almost a Hail Mary response, but it's not a lot of follow through, and it's taking a whole lot of bars to get up from 33 to 39. Couple more. What about getting back to the 886? Back to what? Oh, 886 113 at 73,000 at the all time high. Listen, all time high may happen again some days down the line. All right? But you have a lot of work to do. And, all time high, the final thought on Bitcoin, really. And it's okay. I mean, again, people are fanatical about it. I'm not saying anyone in here is, but there are people who are fanatical about Bitcoin where if you say that it's going to go down, it's a detraction of what Bitcoin's all about. No, it's about the price. And I think we can firmly say that this zone of support resistance defines what everyone should be looking at going forward, where the clear opportunity is on the downside of this line. The clear sell opportunity up here back above the prior highs, And yeah, the comment is, what if it goes back to 72,000, which it could? Um, I say, that wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it wouldn't be too put off by that, and we would take a hard look at what's up there and when it gets up there. I would think more like 62, a reasonable level where we're closer to the downside, but it's not quite there yet. Appreciate it. We just looked at Luna. Yep. And so Luna's in that ballpark 50 level. There's a 4 hour structure developing, sure. And that's a good point too. Look, there's your these are the weekly levels. Now give me a 4 hour structure that does develop something lower. I mean, this crab pattern we talked about failed. Your hop level was 38,700 and you're traded 33. That's failed. And you ran, I don't know, 100 bars or more. That's where the pattern, you have to almost, not almost, you have to look for another pattern to generate. That's why I think whatever the bouncing around that happens here is kind of the precursor of some pattern development that needs to occur. And in that time, I would rather, again, be looking at things that will move. Cardano could be one of those. Cardano is really trying to hold this $1 level, and it was $3, which is pretty amazing. Again, not much difference. In fact, Cardano seems to be leading Bitcoin in a way where, you had the high end static resistance, you have the low end here, and you're scraping it. And again, that would be a real simple visual way to be looking at where the demand truly is. It's somewhere between 90 and a buck to really scrape that edge. I would say, around 95 cents. But every time that thing gets under a dollar, it's magically getting bought up. It doesn't have to bang that dollar level too much. Think of it this way. I mentioned this as well, where again, if it's an 886 or some kind of reaction off of this low, 236 move for Cardano puts you back to 145. It wouldn't look like much on the chart, but seriously, if you're buying it at a dollar and it does a 236 move to 145, you'll be happy. 382 bounce is 180. I don't think it'll do that, but you could see this go sideways between 150 and a buck for a while. Go up, come back down. It's done it a few times already. Luna is done. Yeah, I don't, listen, I'm looking at Luna. A couple comments about Luna. People wrote sensitive. Maybe it's new moon. Luna, meaning moon. Luna, I hear what people are saying. And again, now people are there where Luna was the next Solana, right? It was the next Ethereum killer. And it maybe still could be because that's still a pretty substantial bull trend. But let's just do all time again. Just look at your all time retracements. I don't think any major all time retracement really should go under a 618, folks. I would be concerned under 40, really. And I wouldn't, it's not great that this thing couldn't hold a 50% retracement. I mean, think of it that way. You're looking for a B point, really. And again, if this is in your worst case scenario, well, if that's this, maybe you have something like, go to a 786 or something. Much like you did back here in 2021, or sorry, 2000, yeah, 2021. Now take a look, all right? get a little perspective. What does that look like? Hey, Luna, oh my goodness, goes from 10 cents to $20. That's amazing. And but okay, comes down. Let's just walk through it the way that we would do it, no matter what. But here's a big spike move. Geez, why wasn't I mean, I caught some moves last year, but then when I see stuff like Luna and Solana were at 10 or 20 cents that went to $20 and then they went to 200, yikes. Anyway, let's walk it through that first thrust during the crazy time this time last year. Or Luna goes from 10 cents to 23 bucks. So then you would be thinking, all right, it pulls back, but if it takes out the 382, I'm pretty much toast. And that was around $14. So let's see what happens. It goes ahead, goes ahead. All right. Here's the thing to notice. After it spikes up, look at the red bars. Red candle, da da da. Consolidation, red candle, no continuation, rolling over. Oh, big candle down. But what does that show you? I mean, it went from 10 cents to $20, back to 4. But it did give you an M formation. And again, this isn't going to be perfect, but it gives you the kind of the notion of what to be looking for going forward with these other larger corrections unfolding at the moment. Where there's 886, folks, 883, 886, it's close enough. I mean, you want 886 exactly, but it fits with the EM formation. And at $3.10, whatever, 320, that was your low, and it goes to 250. 250? No, not 250. Sorry, went to 100, 110. But that's amazing. So the takeaways are: look for the M's on the pullbacks. If they don't line up, you don't have anything yet. Maybe we have a simple retracement. That is what I'm thinking on Luna, and I'm looking for reaction. That's it. But for the larger moves, they'll be like that. And even if they've done a skyrocket, look at that situation. This did a huge 200x, then it lost 88.6, then it does another 25x. So I'll wait for something to develop on those. They I think you're going to get plenty of opportunities. I just think it's um, still early. Let's look at the totals. Total DeFi. Let's just start there. What you need to see at this point, there's a couple of bearish patterns that actually now, the further we get along, the more relevant these levels certainly are becoming. It's remarkable. But I think it's important to note that we have satisfied really what we want to see on this reaction test. We could come down another 10-15% lower on, and this is DeFi market cap, which I think is the strongest of all the total crypto market caps. And that would then set us up where I would want to see a retest back up to the hop at 2.02. Sorry, 203 billion. I keep confusing those, the trillion and billion. What does that mean? Well, you're 116 right now, and I'm just talking framework. Think of it this way, folks. It's going to take a while. It could take weeks, could take several months, but are we at the point off of this ABCD reaction where we could be ending the reaction and start the type 2 return, as I call it, meaning we hit our targets, we're registering some oversolds, we are then going to exhibit price action. Really critical. Maybe that's something I need to do, is a whole thing on individual price action. Because individual price action, that's another thing I don't talk enough about. is looking at each individual bar, if it's candlestick or if it's Heiken Ashi or Renko or something. But it's a point of data history that is important. The thing that happened on the total DeFi crypto market cap is you not only didn't take out the prior week's low, you didn't close below the prior week's low, even though you closed below it, below the prior 2 weeks, you started to hold at a very important point, which is in this zone, and it's basically 105, 110 billion on the DeFi crypto market cap. Critical. Let's be mindful of that. I think really, as I said, I think Ethereum and Bitcoin, I've been saying this for a long time now, they are clouding the crypto picture. I really feel like if you look at this index here, okay, that's the total crypto, everything. And we did the reaction off of this bearish ABCD. Now, why is it here? Well, it's a perfect ABCD off of just last year's data, 2021. For me, that means something. I know you might be saying, oh, well, Scott, it's just, that's just form fitting your pattern. Well, no, coincidentally, it it matches exactly the requirements for an ABCD, and it's off of just 2021. The low from January, the crazy run, you come back 786 retracement, your A to B leg, okay, from 830 billion up to 2.5 trillion. That's a heck of a move. Then you do a huge retracement. Again, you lose 60% and do another thrust of basically 1 point, what was it, 1.5? Yeah, another 1.5 trillion to get you to the ABCD level. And that was all off of the 2021 data. Is something I've always said as well, that all patterns are a collection of data. You should treat them as such, and 2021 was a unique year. What does that mean? This pattern has relevance. The profit targets have relevance. And we're at target 2, basically the maximum downside. Now let's look at our indicators on total crypto market cap on the weekly. Oversold and giving us an inflection out of the zone. HPC's Harmonic Strength Index on the weekly is deeply oversold, folks. It is the deepest we've seen since 2000 and what is it? Is this the deep? This might be the deepest ever. I have to go back and look at that on the weekly chart, at least of what the readings I can get. That is deep. Now, the thought behind this is that once this does pivot out, that would be a huge signal. It would be a substantial signal. Matching up with amplified RSI, you're already there with, kind of the indicators you need to see. And now we have a weekly individual bar trying to reverse. Also, take note, the weekly close did not take out the prior low. We squeaked out a bullish candle. We're squeaking out another. And remember, today's first day of the month, February 1st, new candle on the monthly. This is important. Let's not take out. I mean, you want to be really strong. You want to see this thing return and begin to stabilize. 1.7 trillion, folks, is the number you need to hold. Why? That's last month's close. And essentially, this whole the main body of this entire candle is what you want to focus on. 2.2 trillion, 1.7 trillion. All right, and it's a lot like, I mean, a lot like we had back in June. You had a couple down candles, and then you were able to at least stabilize the prior low. That's why you don't want to take out this prior wick here, 1.5. This is where the individual price action definitely helps, looking at those price bars. Um, for now, on the weekly and the daily, okay, I can deal with that. Take your time. I know we had complex structures. Yep. So this is the thing on the daily total crypto market cap is we came in and we formed a W formation. There's your prior low. It's not the prettiest of W's, but we can kind of say it's like, I think that would be your middle point there. And now we're out and we're going to the 50 line. I think I mentioned that yesterday. It was something we were looking for last week. And get us up at least to the 50. Why? That would trigger the reaction, and then we would look for the retest. Maybe not that severe, but stabilize first. Stabilize. That's important. I say that sometimes, and it's not clear enough. So I think that's absolutely the key. And I think for today, that's where I want to leave it, folks. I think crypto's at a pivotal spot. The markets are helping out. We talked about the markets last week. We talked about on Thursday that we're still in strong reactions, and that should continue. So this is a fairly constructive environment, better than 10 days ago. So let's look at more of that. Come back on Thursday. I think we got today the first, and then wanted to tell everybody next week we're going to start up the gold member sessions. I'll share that with everybody on Thursday, what that's about. We had a Saturday session, and we're going to get that kind of, you really get more going here now in the new year. So if you have any other questions, it's all on the basic members page at harmonictrader.com. So do sign up there. You have any questions, get all your information. Otherwise, come on back Thursday. We'll see you then. Thanks again. And as always, folks, go get them.